Okay, guys, we're going to have a little coffee with Scruff, and it's going to only be a little one. And it's a follow-up to yesterday's coffee with Scruff. Because I hit home with a few home truths, and I showed a poll about where, when you're looking through YouTube, the only thing you're looking for is strategy. That was by far and away the biggest thing people look for. And I'm asked all the time, what's your strategy? Can I copy your strategy? Can I follow your signals? All of this sort of thing.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, let me tell you something. Looking for a strategy is absolutely pointless. And you're not going to like this, right? You're really not. But you are wasting your time. Absolutely wasting your time. Because ultimately, if you're looking for it for free, it's worth what you pay for it, right? Back all, right? But here's the kicker. You don't have to pay for it in the first place because every single strategy works. Every single one. So you're looking at a MACD cross. You're looking at the RSI what? Bollinger Band sprees, Heikin-Ashi, Fibonacci, all these different strategies. If you're time poor, you swing trading, period. If you've got a bit of time on your hands, you've got a chance at doing a little bit of day trading. If you've got loads of time, you can combine everything. You can scalp, you can day trade, you can swing, you can even position trade. So time is very important to what you do. But let's have a little bit of a think, shall we?
My brain hurts!
So, if every strategy works, where do you start? What if you copy my strategy? Are you going to win? Use the exact same indicators I do?
I'd buy that for $1.
Look at the same way I look at a chart? Because one of the things that the charts do, it's a level playing field for everybody. See, I don't believe in fundamentals, you know, and there's a very good reason why I don't believe in them. I want to know what time they're coming, so I'm going back to time. But I don't actually care what they are. And you know why? I weren't in the room when that decision was made. So I don't know what the thinking is. But also, is it really put in place to affect the next hour? Is it? And when I see these clowns sort of going, oh yeah, the Fed's doing this and this one's doing that, these sort of armchair economists. Fucking clueless, right? Those decisions are not made to affect today. So the level playing field is what we're all looking at. And that's the chart. You see, power is not knowing something what somebody else doesn't know. It's actually knowing what they do know.
You serious?
You think you've got your strategy. You think you're following mine. Well, you're in for a shock here. I don't have one. Never have. What I have is a framework. And it's a framework based on that chart. I know where key levels are. I know where Fibonacci's are. But I understand how price reacts when it gets to those. There isn't a strategy in the land can teach you that. Nothing. You know, because X does not mark the spot. You've got to be able to read the chart. Now that's what I do. And there's only one thing I have that you don't. Experience.
I've had so much experience!
Now that's what really matters. You see, if you can understand what your win rate is, I've got a pretty darn good win rate. But it's win rate that's high for one reason. I don't trade half as much as what you do. I'll trade once or twice. Yes, I'll break my positions up. So it looks like I'm trading more than I am, but I'm not. It's still just one trade idea. Now, the next part of it is everybody bangs on. Oh, what's your risk reward? How much you putting on the table? There's too much on the table for what you're taking out. No, it's not. Not even fucking close. Right? Because first of all, you don't know what the risk reward is that I'm taking on. I actually work on 1-to-1 based on position 3 of a stage trade. Now, because I work on position 3, not only is it one-on-one, it actually works out in far greater RR than what the traditionalists are. And my downside is far less. So for every trade you can take, I can take 2. All right? But that's because I use a DCA program. And each one of those segments that I put in is an individual position, which is a trade on its own. So kind of contradictory to what I was just saying about placing trades once or twice. It's a trade idea, which is a single trade idea, and then broken into a time frame. And then I'll put 5 different positions in, which I suppose are 5 individual trades. Now, I don't care if I get 1 or all 5 in, as long as I'm paid. That's it. Right? So that's a different thing. But experience tells you that. Running businesses tells you that. I understand what ring fencing money is. Most traders don't. They haven't got a clue what that would mean. In other words, I don't care what I keep in the broker. I get that all the time. How much you got in your broker? Who gives a fuck? I keep enough in it to service the trade that I'm going to take, and that's it. You know, it can be 10 grand, it can be 20 grand. You know, on the small account, it can be down to 200 quid. Right? So it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what I put in that Vanguard, which is the slush fund. Now that is what keeps those trades alive. And that's big. But what you don't see is also what I put in my bank account. That's my business. It's got nothing to do with you. I'm not interested in what your bank account is, so why should you ask me what mine is? Ludicrous. This is why trading's very difficult. It's why trading's very individual.
What you doing here? It's got to do with you.
So if trading's individual, why do I win and you lose? If we're looking at the same thing, same indicators, same time frames. It's very simple. I wait. My strategy is called patience. So if I look at a chart at 7 o'clock and it says it's not ready, I won't even consider going to market. If it says it's 8 o'clock, even if it's the best setup in the world, I still won't go to market for at least 15 to 30 minutes. Why? Because I don't trade opens. These are rules inside a framework. What's the next part? I trade very small in relation to the size of the account. So therefore, when you're putting £1 on, I'm putting 10p on. I don't over leverage. I think leverage is the killer of accounts. And then when it finally comes down to the bottom line, I look at this as a job. Most of you look at it as a casino. So really, if you stripped everything out, the strategy has bugger all to do with whether you're going to survive or not. Nothing. Because, and I've done it with the guys. We flicked a coin and I still made more money than they did. And the reason is, I understood whether I'm buying or selling, whether I'm going with or against the grain, how much I'm willing to put into the market, how much I'm willing to risk to what I'm going to get out. And when a market gives me an opportunity, I take it. That's the difference. A lot of newer traders try and take every opportunity, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Well, I don't like indifference. I like certainties. If it's bad, I stay out. And if it's good, I'll go in. That's it. That's strategy. Strategy is actually should be called mindset. Why you go to market and how you go to market is entirely up to you. Personally, I use levels. You want to know exactly what I do? I put my levels in, I put my fibs in, and I look for zones, because around each single key zone is a 10% barrier. Why? Because the markets are not pit perfect. We know this. But I do know if it's in that barrier, something's going to happen. And then I'll go with what the dominant direction is of the moment. It's called the double D. All right. Now from there, that means I'm either buying it or I'm selling it. Very simple. I play a law of averages. And as long as I keep those averages very high, my win rate is very high. So how do I keep that win rate high? I just don't trade as much as what you think I do. So always remember, less is more.
Isn't that logical?
And 90% will fail. And they fail because they use the treadmill of terror. Strategy to strategy to strategy to strategy. You want to survive in this game and not become part of the statistic of 90% of dickheads cry about what's going on and then complain the industry's rigged. The industry ain't rigged. When I see people cry about brokers saying, oh, the broker moved the market to take me out.
Fuck no!
Trust me, they don't even know you're there. You know, they don't. So forget chasing strategy. Find a strategy. Find something you like that fits in with your lifestyle. Whether it's a longer term swing, a day trade, a position trade, even a scalp. Personally, I'm not a lover of scalping. That's well documented. But if you want to do it, knock yourself out. But master it. And master one. Think of the great words from Bruce Lee. I subscribe to that. I do GoldenEye on everything. And even when I'm putting in a Kylie fib, which is my other sort of go-to day trade, it's still inside a GoldenEye framework. So it's one strategy, one hit, one time frame, one love. Let's all have a sing song. Bob Marley, he had it right. No woman, no cry. Well, actually, I'd cry if Winky wasn't here because I do love her. She is wonderful. Well, she's not actually. She's paying my fucking ass most of the time. Bankrupts me. Whinges constantly. Oh, dear me. Do you want my life? If so, drop in the comments and we'll have a chat about it, because trust me, one thing that you will know about most people's lives is you only see what you want to see. And you often... That's a good point before we end this. I dropped my lightsaber, but I've got another one. I've actually got 3. You know, ha 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 ha. Yeah, me and Winky have a bit of a fight with these. Yeah, when you talk about keeping up with the Joneses and all of that sort of thing, people look at lifestyles and they think, oh, it must be wonderful to be them. But you never know what goes on behind closed doors. And trading is exactly the same. Just because it looks wonderful doesn't mean to say it is. The only time you find out it's wonderful is if you experience it for yourself. There's a bit of pondering thoughts. So let's have yours. Drop it in the comments and we'll have a chat. Because unlike other people, I answer every email, every WhatsApp message, every comment. I do it personally. Do what you love, guys. And the money will follow. See you all in the next one.